So New Mexico, Africa. When did you end up in Colorado?
So funny enough, my parents moved out here in 2015, and I was still in college around that time. So I would just visit every now and then. And funny enough, once I started visiting, going back and forth to Colorado, everybody in New Mexico somehow forgot I was from New Mexico, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Kevin. He's from Colorado." I'm like, "Well, technically, I guess, yeah, you know what I mean." But second home for me. But I moved out here 2018 in March.
Okay.
After I graduated college in 2017.
Cool.
So I was just like, I just really didn't see much to do out there. I wasn't making much money at the jobs I was doing. And so I figured, you know what? Let me just go to Colorado, figure out the weed game, figure out the music game again, and see what goes from there and stuff.
And so you were already fully invested in being an artist?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, not necessarily the artist. I kind of dropped that when I got to college, just freestyled with the homies, did random stuff. I picked up DJing, and I loved that more just because I love all kinds of music. I love a variety of stuff. From hip hop to reggae, funk, cumbia, dubstep, you know what I'm saying? So I got a country even, you know what I mean? I grew up, the college I was at was a country hip hop kind of town and stuff. So I picked that up as well as filmmaking with my degree. So I was trying to focus on that. But then when I came out here, I did my first big show, Unsigned Hype. It was at the Speakeasy in Springs. And after that, I was like, after getting to know the scene and just DJing my first show with artists, not necessarily playing music, but actually working with artists, I was like, let me dip my toes back into it and everything. I can still rap. I can still progress. And then that's when I feel Kevin Mike Check was more born at that point, you know?
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Colorado kind of has that, like, clarity aspect to it. Like, people come out here just to, like, breathe mountain air and think about what they want to do. And sometimes they stay, sometimes they don't. But I think everyone comes here just to be like, let me get away from the hustle and bustle of some other shit or the boring bullshit where there's nothing going on. Like, I need to see the world for what it is. It's a perfect happy medium.
No, absolutely. And I love New Mexico. I love my cities and everything. But for me, it was definitely, it's also the travel bug. My parents love to travel too. And I kind of want to get back to that aspect as well. So for me, let me take that first step and get out of here. Let me see what Colorado's all about. Everyone's like, oh, it's so expensive. How are you going to do stuff? You're just going there for the weed. Partially, of course, I go front on that shit. You know what I mean? I love the game.
But why would you go somewhere where there's not weed?
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it was crazy when I came out here too, because my state was different at the time. It was only very rarely medically legal.
Cool.
When I came out here and saw the aspect of recreation and places to smoke, I was like, what the fuck is this? So I was like, all right, let me see what's up, you know? But yeah, just a good stepping stone to finally come out of that comfort and realize, what do I want to do out of this, you know?
Right.
And definitely, of course, COVID shut down really hit the gas mark on that one, you know?
COVID was crazy, bro. So, Chop and Chill, that represents Colorado kind of well based off of what you just said.
Yeah.
So you might have one of the most visually representative albums in the industry right now as far as what can represent us as a whole, as a culture.
No doubt.
So where did Chop and Chill come from?
So it's crazy how it built up and stuff. I was really trying to figure out what my sound was with everything, and as it progressed through all the projects I did, Choppin' and Chillin' really came from the idea of not just chopping in the sense of rapping fast, you know what I mean, which I did do a lot with my earlier stuff, and I've learned to like balance it out with what I do now. But more of the sense of like talking it up with your people and everything. Let's chop shop, let's see what's up and everything. And Chillin', of course, that's been the casual thing of what I do anyway and stuff. We have the kickback at K-Max is what we call it and stuff. You know, we're just chilling. Sometimes we're listening to music, watching a movie, talking life, just seeing what's up and everything like that. So it's just really the concept of just talking and just hanging out with your people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Whether it's about business, whether it's about life. You know what I mean? It's just really good conversations at the end of the day with how I look at Choppin' and Chillin'. But then I look at my style with this, like, yeah, I do have a little da-da-da-da to my raps, which over some smooth beats, it really does sound pretty dope when I have a way to master it, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what you like to listen to.
Oh,
I imagine, you know, I feel like people shouldn't make what they don't like just because other people.
No, hell yeah.
That's what they like. There's always some technical bullshit acting out in front of company. Chop and Chillin' is dope. The title itself, though, it seems to already be doing a lot of the work.
Yeah.
You told me where the phrase comes from, but what qualifies that to be like what I'm saying is somebody else could say that they're chopping and chilling.
Yeah.
You have already depicted that in sort of your lifestyle, but how do you make sure that the rest of the world knows that you're the chopping and chilling king? How do you brand that? You know what I mean?
I think that was established too in my previous project before that, the King of the Chill.
There you go.
For me, because it really is just my brand. I'm all about chill vibes and dope rhymes at the end of the day. It's how I look at my brand and stuff like that. So the Chillin identity when they see it with that. And then on top of that, my show performances. Sometimes you would think just how energetic I am with how I perform, I wouldn't be that chill, but you can hear the emotion, the passion in my music and everything, and how that brings it to life, basically, and how I interact with it. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, my niche has been adapting movies I like to my projects. And Choppin' and Chillin was adapted from Be Cool with John Travolta, Cedric the Entertainer.
Is that where a lot of these samples come from?
Yeah, the movie samples and everything.
Like, you know what I think? Fuck that.
Yeah,
that shit's hard.
I love that because it was a PG-13 movie, and that is the rule of PG-13 movies. You can only use the F word once. So he's like, he just said fuck that. You know what I'm saying? It was the best use of it in my opinion. For them. Yeah, so that's really my identity, man. I'm just kicked back. I love chilling, talking with people about stuff. You know. I get into some serious topics every now and then, but, you know, mostly like, hey, there's silver lining somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
And that's just, I don't know, like a lot of people, we as artists, we tend to see ourselves in other art, but displaying that is hard sometimes because we don't exactly know how to get the message across. So it's like, bro, throw the exact moment of my inspiration into that song. Let them hear what I was hearing. But now they hear it in the context of my song. So you're repackaging it. I love sampling like that, bro.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing and everything. Shout out to Mixed by Blitz. That's my guy right there at Mount Olympus Studio. He's a hella good producer, hella good engineer, hella good just, and more executive producer as well, because the way he like instructs me and helps me develop my sound through some of these things. And with the project we're working on now, I'm definitely excited for what we got coming up next for sure.
Yes, sir. That's one of my favorite things to do is really lock in with an artist, build that sound with them, be a part of something that nobody else can recreate. You know what I mean?